ballot, and I would like to make a recommendation due to the fact that it's 9:58 p.m. I am going to recommend, number one, that the Central Committee, I will establish an ad hoc committee consistent of the members, several members of this body, to actually look into the legality of the sample ballot, the legality of the Central Committee placing school board members and judges on the ballot because they're both nonpartisan positions. We just really need to educate ourselves first. Our next meeting is scheduled for August 21st. It will be here, 7 p.m. At that meeting, I will open the floor for public participation from the audience, those members who want to come to the meeting. And that's something that we normally don't do, but this issue is so critical, and I believe it's important that you be heard. We will receive your comments on the 21st. You can sign up when you get there. I will caution you that one thing that will be required, regardless of how contentious this issue may be, you must be respectful. I will not have cheering in the audience. I don't want placards or signs or anything like that, because we need to do things, again, in good and proper order. So colleagues, if you agree with my recommendation that we allow public participation at our next meeting, this will also give us an opportunity to even digest this packet of information, which is quite thick. I haven't looked at it, but your concerns are real. So that's my recommendation. Ms. Douglas.
Madam Chair, I think in light of the severity of this, the request in the letter was for the party to take a stand and to send out a statement to the public. That was one of the requests. And I think that in light of the passing of the primary election, the issues that you're bringing up about the one Democrat versus another issue on the ballots and referendums and things that we need to look at a little bit more deeply are important. But this issue is very specific with regards to asking the chair to take a position on sending out a statement saying that those ballots are not official and that we really need to act on this. And I would ask the chair to take a look at what they've done in Montgomery County. And I can make a motion to do that right now if I need to, if the chair is not willing to do that.
At this point in time, I'm not in a position to make a statement about anything because I haven't read this. And I like to also take into consideration my colleagues in terms of how you feel about it as well. I think it's too premature to take a position on information that we just received this evening. And I will not agree to do that. What I think the better solution would be for us to have an opportunity to hear from the community. We can make a decision at the appropriate time in terms of what our next steps should be. And I understand that this is critical, but I just don't feel comfortable putting out a position statement on an issue that we as an elected body who just got sworn in, asking us to take a position. I don't feel comfortable with that. And I think a good compromise is providing an opportunity for those who are concerned to actually come to our meeting, which is in August 21st. And you will have an opportunity to speak. We can discuss the matter. We can deliberate on the matter. And that's my recommendation.
Could I speak? Madam Chair, I understand it's late, and I've got kids and stuff that I need to be responsible for as well. However, I think there are a number of people that are here right now. We did vote early on, maybe a couple of hours ago, to discuss it, and I'm concerned to the fairness. Not everyone that's here right now may not be able to attend that next meeting. It's summer, people got vacations, whatever. It may not fit their schedules. I feel some responsibility to allow the people that have held out this late, if they would like to make a public comment, to make that public comment.
Can I have a motion. What is the pleasure of the body? Do we want to allow public participation tonight and then have it again on the 21st?
Madam Chair, point of information.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you were gonna establish this committee to review this issue. Do you have a time frame by which you would do that?
Actually, immediately. I mean, I would have to communicate with Central Committee members via email, and if you are interested in participating in that ad hoc committee, I think that we need to exercise due diligence. As a matter of fact, the ad hoc committee scenario was actually recommended to me by one of our new Central Committee members, because they're somewhat uncertain. And to delay, to keep the meeting going on tonight, to hear comments from individuals who will in fact come back on August 21st and look for an opportunity to speak again. We've been doing this for a very long time, and that's okay. So I need to know what the pleasure of this body is. Do you want to have public participation tonight, or do you want to accept my recommendation to allow public participation on August 21st, do the ad hoc committee?
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that the chair establish the ad hoc committee for volunteers from the Central Committee tonight, and that committee meet within the next 2 weeks to develop a report of findings for the Central Committee.
The only caveat is I don't want to just appoint people to the committee. My recommendation is that if you want to serve on that ad hoc committee,
I did say volunteer.
Please let me know. Yeah, but yeah.
It's been seconded.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we establish an ad hoc committee. Is there any discussion?
Linda D'Esplanado, second.
Took me 2 weeks to get it right.
Madam Chair, this is point of discussion, right? Yes, the discussion I would like to offer is that I think that it doesn't have to be an either or, but it can be a both and. I think Mr. Shively's point is well taken, that the folks have come here, they've stayed here, as long as we've stayed here from beginning to end. And if they have something to say, they ought to be allowed to give a limited opportunity to say what they have to say so that we can actually educate the ad hoc volunteers that are about to volunteer right now and give every person 2 minutes to state their concern about this.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor that I would like to deal with first, and then we'll take into consideration your comments.
I would accept that as a friendly amendment.
Okay, it's been a friendly amendment?
I would accept that as a
Is
friendly
that okay,
amendment.
Mr. Thunder?
Yes.
Okay, we have a friendly amendment to allow the individuals here tonight to speak to 2 minutes in addition to the establishment of an ad hoc committee. Is there any discussion?
We get a second?
Second.
I thought I made a
Okay.
second.
No, I'm just saying.
Any discussion? Hearing none?
My only point with regard to discussion is that we be very clear specifically what this ad hoc committee is covering. You mentioned school board, you mentioned judges. I just want to be very specific so that when
I'm not, okay, I understand.
when people are volunteering, they know exactly what they're volunteering for. I've heard legalities, so there's a few things out there that I just want to get clarity on.
I believe the major issue is the fact of the ballot that the Central Committee will put out in November. The primary election is passed. The Central Committee.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we are not talking from the audience. Please don't do that. Yes, Ms. Dudley.
The petition that we received, via email, I think I got it last night or yesterday, that we have in front of us, is very clear in the request. And the request was for us to, put out a statement and take a stand on the sample ballots that are being produced for the primary elections that are using the term official Democratic sample ballot or Democratic sample ballot. The concept of the, how we handle the sample ballot that we do as a Democratic Central Committee, should we choose to do one, is a separate issue. So, while I do think that this ad hoc committee could address ballot issues, just speaking to the motion, that the thing about the primary is right in our face right now. This is a significant amount of people who are engaged. And I look at this and I see an opportunity to organize Democrats. Because every single one on here who signed up on this is somebody who's a potential organizer and a voter in their community.
Okay, thank you so much. Can we please call the roll? The motion is to establish the ad hoc committee, to bring back, I think, information in like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And if you're interested in volunteering, let me know. To look at the ballot issue, I believe maybe the primary and the general, and also to allow individuals here this evening 2 minutes to speak. Now, I would like to request divide the question. One vote on speaking tonight and the other vote on the ad hoc committee. So, yes ma'am.
When you say bring it back in 2 to 3 weeks, is there a specific date that we're bringing it back on?
Let's have it available a week before our August 21st meeting.
Is there a date?
Well,
That would be the 11th.
August the 14th.
August 14th.
Yeah, the 14th.
Okay. And you said the second one is to speak on it tonight?
Speak on it tonight. 2 minutes. Well, I believe the motion said that anyone here who wants to speak may speak. Okay, so I would like to make an amendment to that motion that if you speak tonight, you will not be permitted to speak at our August 21st meeting. Because at that point, we know your position. That's fair.
Okay, point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
Customarily, the chair of the committee does not make motions. You can ask for a motion to come from the floor, and once you get somebody from the floor to make that motion.
May I have a motion? Would someone please make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
You're moving that individuals
Here, who speak tonight, will not be allowed to speak at the next meeting because their position would have been made known tonight and is documented, and our secretary have taken copious notes to that matter.
It's been moved. May I please have a second? Hearing no second, motion fails. Please call the roll on the establishment of the ad hoc committee.
And that is the motion with the amendment as it was proposed, and not your bifurcated recommendation.
What was your amendment? 'Cause-
My amendment was to let people have 2 minutes.
Well, I asked to divide the question. The chair,
That's
any
what I'm
member
asking for.
can request, I request that we divide the question. You're gonna take one vote on the ad hoc committee, and then the second vote will be on permission to speak tonight.
Would be a motion to separate. That would be a motion to separate it into 2 things.
No, you don't, and excuse me, we don't, this is business that we will conduct, you don't conduct it from the audience, thank you.
Point of order.
Yeah.
When there's a motion to separate items, it is an action item, so what you would do as the chair, and I'm sorry to do this, but I just have to, that if you want to do something, you can say, I'll put it before the body without objection.
Is there any objection to dividing the question?
For which question?
Hearing,
To divide?
yeah, to have one vote on the ad hoc committee and then another vote on public participation tonight, 2 minutes for each individual who wants to speak. So if you would call the roll on the ad hoc committee, so we can move this thing forward. Yes.
Could you say the motion again? I'm sorry. It's very.
The motion is to establish an ad hoc committee
Okay.
that will bring a report back to the full body. The date that we selected was August 14th. Call the roll, please.
Vanessa Akbar,
Yes.
Donnie Arrington,
Yes.
Antoine Brown.
Yes.
Nora Carmichael.
Yes.
John Carr,
Yes.
Derek Cooley, Linda, I'ma get it.
Diaz Granado.
Diaz Granado.
Yes.
Linda. Teresa Dudley,
Yes.
Michelle Garcia,
Yes.
Ingrid Harrison,
I vote aye.
Sydney Harrison, Stephanie Hicks, Faye Howell,
Yes.
Angela Jones, yes. Emmett Jordan, Cheryl Landis,
Aye.
Brian McDaniel,
Aye.
John Richardson,
Yes.
Kent Roberson,
Yes.
Danny
Shively, yes.
Skively, Jacqueline Steele, McCall, Patricia Waiters,
Yes.
Rhonda Wallace, and Wayne Thunder Williams.
Yes.
The vote was favored by
It's unanimous.
unanimously. Okay, I'ma get it, y'all.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll on, allowing individuals here tonight to speak for 2 minutes regarding the information that was given to us this evening.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Donnie, Antoine,
Yes.
Nora,
Yeah.
John Carr,
Yes.
Derek Coley, Linda,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Michelle
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Ingrid Harrison,
Vote aye.
Sydney Harrison is gone, Stephanie Hicks, Faye Howell,
Yes.
Angela Jones, yes. Emmett Jordan, Cheryl Landis,
No.